Hey y'all, hey. I know I have been gone for such a long time from you. Did y'all miss me? Because I missed y'all. Well, I'm back and I have a new book review for you guys. So stay tuned because I will be reviewing Portrait of Love by Criss Carr. It's going to be the intro to your book review. Right. Dion Dabbler has big dreams of becoming a poet. Dreams believed to be too big for someone so small. Feeling alone and dealing with mental health issues, Dion is ready to give up on everything until she meets Dakari Marcel. Dakari is everything that Dion could have wished for in a best friend, but due to mental illness, she tends to push people away, including Dakari. Will Dion's mental state stop her from living out her dreams? Will it be too much for Dakari to handle, causing him to walk away from real love? Or will he help Dion through her troubling times and become more than just a friend? Now, this wasn't necessarily a romance novel. It was more like a soulmateship. Is that a word? I don't think that's a word, but it should be. Soulmateship, okay? But they tried to disguise it like it was friendship. No, it wasn't. And throughout the whole book, the main character and her boo thing, Dion and Dakari, they the only people that didn't seem to realize that they were in love and in a full-fledged relationship, a romantic one. Like, we're going to do everything that people in relationships do, but we just not in a relationship. We friends. Every time Dion would try to say something about them being friends and they was only friends and all of this, I was just like, oh, girl, who you think you talking to? Like, your mama, your friends, everybody know. The readers, the author, everybody know. That's your man. He is your man. But the author let her stick with that story until the end. And then finally they had to just, come to the conclusion that, we might be more than friends. You think? You guys, it was a part in this book, and I'm not going to give it away, but I will say this. So they was gone, bam, chicka, wow, you know what I'm saying? And our main character did just about everything that you could do to make that moment as unsexy as possible. Like, I don't even know how he did her after that. Oh, it was funny to me. Okay, I'm done. It's just a story, a good story. And it has definitely, like I said, the soulmate ship. And then it talks a great deal about mental illness, And it really gave you a everyday look at what mental illness is for some people. I think that there's a stigma on it looking a certain type of way. You know, you hear mental illness and you think the white straps around the person and beating their head up against the wall or something. And that just was not the case. It was a very everyday functioning form of mental illness that she dealt with for all of her life in this book. And I don't know, there was a part near the beginning of the book that had me literally in tears. And I don't know if it was like just my empathy for this character. I don't know if it like triggered something in me internally, or if it was just downright good writing, but I literally could not finish reading that book that evening. Like, I had to go to bed, sleep on it, and wake back up on a new day to finish the book. And a great deal of that part was her dealing with her mental illness, but also her dealing with the bullying that was happening in her life. And interesting enough, we hear bullying all the time. And we always think about kids at school being talked about and picked on by other kids. But this book reminded me of a tweet or a Facebook post or something that a friend of mine had put up some time ago. And I actually looked for it. I couldn't find it. But the gist of this tweet was, one day we're going to talk about how our children's first bully is their mama. Okay. That rung in my head through this entire book because there was some real trauma happening with Dion. And a lot of it was because of her mama. Okay. From childhood into her adulthood, she was dealing with a lot. And the way that this author pieced together her story it was really phenomenal. I really enjoyed reading about her and how she dealt with a lot of the stuff that she was dealing with. I loved how Dakari was pretty much like her saving grace, like literally her saving grace. Had it not been for him, we may not have a story to actually read, because the book is based on a true story. So, I was really, I won't say entertained, but I was, it made for very interesting reading for me to hear the type of dysfunction that was happening with the main author, Dion, the main character, Dion, and how she's coped with it. Her love, her soulmate, I don't even want to say her romantic interest, because again, this book wasn't that romantic, but her soulmate was very much so vital in her survival. Some people might not think that's all that healthy, that somebody else can have that much power in your life, but the reality was that in this book, for this character, it was. And it was great to read. But with all that said, and know that I really, really, really did enjoy this book, there were a lot of questions that were introduced but weren't answered in the book. And we're not talking about a little book, okay? This wasn't a short read. It was definitely a larger size book. So there was room for the questions and the circumstances that got introduced in the book to be thoroughly discussed, and for there to be some closure for these circumstances, but we didn't get it. So that did lead me into it maybe not being my favorite read. So let's recap, shall we? All the stuff I liked. So we had the humorous description of these scenes, the introduction of just the everyday look to mental illness, this exploration into this toxic mother-daughter relationship. That can be a whole sad book by itself, real talk. And then, of course, that soulmate ship that I was telling y'all about, that literally was like Dion's saving grace. Like, yeah, all of that contributed to a solid book. I gave this book 3 acrylic nails. If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please make sure that you do so. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, share this with your friends, tell them about me, and read a book.